Holy smokers, this ain't no jokers, folks. Get your popcorn ready. I repeat, get your popcorn ready, because do I have a video for you guys here today on Corsair stock price. This is going to have more twists and turns than a thriller at the movie theater, okay? Yeah, this is a stock in which people are flabbergasted by. They're looking at it, and folks that own the stock are like, why is this one like not moving up, right? It's just been in a vicious down cycle basically this entire year, okay? And folks that own the stock are like, what is going on here? Like, why? It doesn't matter like what goes on, the stock just can't move up, right? Meanwhile, on the other side, you got a lot of people that have been looking at the stock, thinking about buying, and they're like, something's got to be wrong here. I mean, the stock price just goes down all the time, right? And so in this video, we're going to get into some of these details on what is actually going on around the stock price. And there, like I said, there's some twists and turns we're going to go on today. So hope you guys enjoy this. As always, sit tight, grab yourself a TTCF plant-based burrito bowl, and smash a like, and that's all I ask for, okay? Now, once again, in regards to the company, the fundamentals, everything looks on point here, right? The company's been trading at like a 16, trailing 12-month PE. It's been at a forward P of 15, 16. On a valuation basis, that's actually like extremely low, especially in this type of market, right? If we look at EPS, expected to grow. If we look at revenue growth, grow. And it's like, whoa, what the heck is going on, okay? Well, if we go ahead and we look at top institutional holders, you see Vanguard here with 2.6 million shares. That seems like a huge number, right? BlackRock has 2.2 million shares. You see these numbers are pretty big, right? Top mutual fund holders, Vanguard, 779,000. So, I mean, it's like, wow, that's a lot of shares, right? Well, what if I told you that's nothing, okay? There's this company called Eagletree Capital. They bought a majority share of Corsair way back in 2017 for it was valued at $525 million. This means this Eagletree owns not just like 2 million shares like we were looking at for some of those other funds and whatnot, right? Eagletree owns tens of millions of shares. Tens of millions of shares of Corsair Gaming. They have basically a majority stake in this company, a by far and away majority stake in this company. And they have made bank on this, because I can tell you, even with Corsair, how much its stock price has gone down, it's still valued a whole lot bigger than when this Eagletree bought in. So this Eagletree has made bank on Corsair Gaming, like absolutely done phenomenal. But what we've also been seeing is Eagletree Capital has been selling some of their stake, right? Back in January, Eagletree Capital looks to sell 7.77% stake in Corsair Gaming. If we look at this here, in June, Corsair Gaming, $160 million share offering. Funds managed by Eagletree Capital completed the sale of Corsair Gaming common stock for an aggregate consideration of $160 million in a block trade pursuant to Rule 144. So clearly, Eagletree has been selling some dang shares, right? Now, this has obviously retail investors very frustrated for the most part. Like, you look at Eagletree Capital and they get a pretty darn low reviews on Google, and it doesn't seem to be any of actual Eagletree customers who are actually mad. By the way, they're near the Diamond District, man. That's an expensive area over there, needless to say. But Eagletree, the retail shareholders of Corsair Gaming hate Eagletree right now, because they feel like Eagletree continues to put selling pressure on the stock, selling. And like I said, look at the reviews. Corsair to the moon. Eagletree can't stop us. By the way, thanks for the cheap shares. Haha. Stop selling your Corsair shares. In time, you're going to wish you never sold them. And it's just every single comment is around like Corsair. Stop selling Corsair. Thanks for giving us the cheap shares, right? And like a bunch of one-star reviews. And I can understand the frustration coming from, investors, let's call it that, right? I mean, I don't know if I really understand the frustration coming from investors, because let's imagine you want to own the stock for the next 3 years, 5 years. Well, you should want as many shares for as cheap as possible. The issue is a lot of folks have bought call options over the past year in Corsair Gaming, and they put themselves in a situation with Corsair where, the stock hasn't moved, so their options are expiring worthless or down massively, right? And so that leads a lot of folks who have been trying to play options around Corsair figuring, oh, their business is going to be, great. The valuation is super low. The stock's due to move, right? And it just doesn't move. And that's exactly what we've seen play out, right? The stock hasn't moved. The company's been reporting great earnings, and, people are frustrated, especially if you were playing this as any short-term trade or if you were buying any call options on the stock, right? Now, this creates two big issues for Corsair stock price as far as this whole eagletree situation, right? One, it's put selling pressure on the stock. There's no doubt about that, right? Now, we don't know how much on a daily basis, but there's no doubt like eagletree has been selling. We just don't know what days, how much, those sorts of things. But there's no doubt they've put some sort of selling pressure out there on the stock as they sell shares, right? Two, and I think this is even a bigger, more important factor, is the boogeyman effect, right? Where essentially by eagletree holding so many shares and showing their interest in selling those shares, it creates a massive boogeyman in the market. And also with this eagletree being so silent on the situation, it creates a massive boogeyman. People don't know whether eagletree wants to sell out of their entire stake over the next year, whether they want to sell out of their entire stake over the next 2 years, whether they just want to sell a percentage. People don't know if this eagletree is done selling or if they're going to sell more. We don't get any communication out of this dang eagletree. It's not like I see any press releases out there where eagletree makes a statement on the situation, right? There's certain things they can't mention, but there's also a lot of things they can mention, right? And so we don't know how much this eagletree is behind Corsair Gaming. We don't know if they want to sell out all their shares. So this creates this massive boogeyman where folks that have been on the sideline in regards to stock are looking and they're like, I don't know if I really want to buy Corsair Gaming because I could just end up tanking because this eagletree sells out. And heck, the stock price could go to $15. It could go to $10, and eagletree would still likely have made a very nice return on investment, right? Certainly not the return on investment if it's at $20, $30, $40 a share, but still get a return on investment. And so folks are like, what if this eagletree just doesn't stop selling and they just continue to put selling pressure, and next thing you know, the stock's at 15? And that's where you get into all the fears around, stock market investing in general, and funds looking at this one. They're like, I don't know. Corsair looks like a great stock to be in over the next 5 years, but I don't know if I want to buy it right now because what about eagletree? They hold 50% plus of the shares. What if they want to sell out? Also, people don't know if eagletree could already be done selling. No one really knows, okay? It's just this massive boogeyman that's out there right now, right? Now, here's where the twist comes into the story. There's also what's called short sellers, right? Short sellers bet against stocks. And when it comes to Corsair stock, the short sellers are not shy about shorting the heck out of the stock recently, right? If you go back to when the stock was like a $40 stock, hardly anybody was shorting these shares, right? 3.3 million shares were basically sold short, right? People did not want it. As far as the percentage of float that was shorted, 13%, a pretty normal number there. As far as days to cover, less than 1 day to cover the shares. And this is back when the stock was like a $40 stock. Fast forward now, the stock, today was like $26, but recently, there's been anywhere from 10 to 11 million shares sold short. And over 3x from when the stock was, flying high. Isn't that interesting? It should be inverse, right? It should be like, if a stock's flying high, you short the heck out of it because it might, be due to come down. And then on the inverse side, like, when the stock's already beaten down, it might make sense to kind of calm yourself down a little bit as far as shorting, right? But whatever, that's a story. It's, FOMO both ways. FOMO happens in stocks when they're going up, and FOMO happens to shorts when stocks are going down. Happens both ways. Look at the percentage of the float shorted now at this point in time. It's been around 30%. Around 30% of the entire float is sold short now on this stock. And as far as days to cover, this is very important, up to 5.6 days to cover more recently. Now, this is very key because you add the cherry on top, which is short borrow fee rate percentage has been around like 15% people have been reporting recently, right? Which means now it is costing you a fortune if you want to sell short this stock. Essentially, you are in a situation where you are paying through the nose to short this stock. And this is after it's already been beaten down so much. Now, the shorts, they say, oh, the stock's going to 22. It's going to 18, blah, 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 right? And they could be right, but man, are they taking a massive risk when you're talking about you're paying fees like this and with how many people are short now. Because keep in mind, right? Here's the thing with this one, okay? And here's where the twist really starts to come in. The volume's been drying up on Corsair Gaming in a massive, massive way, right? I'm looking today, 642,000 shares have traded. I don't know where it's going to trade at by the end of the trading day. Maybe 1 million shares trade hands, maybe just over 1 million shares trade hands today, right? That's compared to usual volume of 1.8 million shares. 1.8 million. The volume has been drying up in Corsair stock in a massive way. And the thing is, longs, we're always ready for a stock to drop bigger, right? We're all mentally prepared for the stock to go to 24, 22, 20, 18, whatever happens, right? We're mentally like there if it was to actually happen. It might not happen, but at least we're mentally prepared. You know how we got mentally prepared? Because a lot of us probably this isn't our first stock we've been beaten down on, right? But two, and more importantly, we've already been beaten down in this stock. We've already watched it go, from the 30s to the 20s. We've already gotten that beat down right there, right? But are shorts ready for a flip out of nowhere? Because here's the situation when it comes to shorts, right? They're all in a situation where they're likely profitable right now. Now, keep in mind, they're paying through the nose to borrow on the stock, but they're all profitable. Meanwhile, somebody like myself is down, right? I'm down 14%. I'm fully mentally prepared to go down 20% on the stock, right? If I went down 20% on the stock, it wouldn't be the first time I was down 20%, and it surely won't be the last time I'll be down 20% plus on a stock, right? I come to be prepared to be down 20% on a stock. All I care about is where Corsair stock price is in 3 years from now, 5 years from now, right? And then I made a whole bunch of money in the end. Whatever happens in the short term is whatever happens in the short term. I'm mentally prepared for that. But the shorts, that's a whole different situation because they're playing from a short-term perspective. You can't bet against Corsair over the long term. It makes literally no sense to bet against Corsair Gaming over the long term. When you think about the industries they're in, when you think about the management team here, the products, the brands, all those things. Like, you have to be literally mentally insane to bet against Corsair over the long term. So if you're betting against the stock, you're betting over the short term, right? Because you're thinking, okay, the eagletree, they're going to continue to sell shares, so that puts a massive seller in the market, right? And anytime the longs go buy shares, they're just buying shares from eagletree. That's what the shorts are thinking, right? And so, therefore, they think this is easy money, right? This is easy money for us. Short, short, short. Who cares if we have to pay 15, 17% on it? We're shorting it, right? Because they're looking at it and they're saying eagletree just continues to put the selling pressure on. So why not continue to short? And eagletree continues to be silent, so no one knows if eagletree's trying to take their position down to 50% or 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%, 0%. So as long as eagletree remains silent, the shorts are in a position of strength here because the silence is seen as kind of an advantage for them. And it keeps the boogeyman out there in the market. And so, I can understand why some folks have been wanting to stay on the sideline in regards to Corsair despite liking the company because they're not sure about this dang eagletree. And if they just want to continue to put, massive selling pressure on it. But on the flip side, shorts are getting themselves into, a twist here that I don't think they even quite realize what is going to potentially go on. Because if you have eagletree all of a sudden come out and make a statement on, maybe they're being potentially done or hinting around to being done selling, and all of a sudden you take that massive seller out of the market, and then you have all of us longs that, dude, like this stock could go to 35 tomorrow. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling one share if it went to 30. It could go to $40 tomorrow. I'm not selling one share of the stock, right? And so a lot of us longs, we don't care if it goes up a bunch. And at the same time, we don't care if it goes down a bunch because we're already mentally prepared for that. We're already going through that. Like if it goes down, what are we going to do? Buy more shares? You know what I mean? So the shorts, all I'm going to say is they're getting themselves into quite a pickle here. From the long side, we don't care. But from the short side, woo, this stock also goes to 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. Those shorts are going to get absolutely devastated because they need this stock to go down in the short term. Longs, we got all the time in the world on our hands, right? We got all the time in the world. The shorts have anything but time, guys. And so, yeah, it's a dramatic story. Regardless if you own the stock or you don't own the stock, I think it's one to watch just for the perspective of it's interesting to see the battle between the shorts and the longs in this one over the next year or so, guys. So hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you want to text me any of your stock market questions, that will be the pinned comment down there. I might also have it linked in the description. Much love as always, guys. And don't forget to smash and have a great day.